your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Look at all the cloud cover still out there tonight. It's been a very cloudy day. We just can't get rid of these pesky clouds. At least we didn't see a whole lot in the way of rain today. We're going to see a similar day coming at us again tomorrow. The temperatures here tonight hanging in the mid and upper 50s. We only get to those mid and upper 60s again. But the sunshine will come back, at least for one day this week. We'll talk more about that and how the rest of your weekend may be pretty soggy. Details coming up. WCIA3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA3 News.
A win for small business today, a small one. Many more to go.
Restaurants got the green light to open in some capacity at the end of the month, but they'll have to make some changes first. The governor had said businesses that open early could be punished, but that's not the case anymore.
It was totally crazy. I did not expect that.
She's getting surgery tomorrow to remove a tumor, and today many made sure she got some words of encouragement.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA3 News at 10.
Good evening. I'm Jessica Coons. Central Illinois is on track to move to Phase 3 of the Restore Illinois plan at the end of next week. When that happens, bars and restaurants can start seating people outside. This news came as a welcome surprise for business owners. WCIA3's Jennifer Jensen has more.
The coronavirus pandemic has stretched on for months, putting businesses in a tight bind financially. The governor has now loosened restrictions to the executive order by allowing restaurants to have outdoor seating.
I'm not sure how we'll go about it, but we'll take advantage of anything we can. Just being a business, I'll put tables wherever I can and hope for the best weather. That's what we can hope for.
It'll be an adjustment for some businesses like the Apple Dumpling restaurant in Urbana.
The things is we're going to have to prepare. Number one, I don't have outdoor seating. Never had outdoor seating before.
They, like many other places, will now have to buy or rent tables and chairs and clear out a space outside to set up. That's an extra expense they'll have to cover, along with maintaining health and safety guidelines.
Definitely have to have 6 feet separation between the tables. Of course, sanitizing every time somebody leaves.
Outdoor seating is something many restaurant owners considered prior to the governor's latest announcement. The owners of the Apple Dumpling tried to open up outdoor seating a couple weeks ago, but that was quickly shut down by the health department.
And I was told absolutely not they were not to consume the food on premises, period.
In 9 days, that will be allowed, getting restaurant owners one step closer to business as usual.
A win for small business today, a small one. Many more to go.
Reporting, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA3, your local news leader.
We called other restaurants to get their take on this. Most are still organizing their plan for outdoor seating. Mayors in Champaign, Urbana, Danville, and Monticello say they are waiting for more specific guidelines from the governor on this as they continue to balance supporting businesses while protecting public safety. Other changes coming in Phase 3. Golf courses will be allowed to have 4 players on the same tee. Boating and camping will be allowed with up to 10 people. Nail and hair salons, spas, and tattoo parlors are also set to reopen, and in-person retail shopping will be allowed. You can find a list of more places that are opening at the end of the month on WCIA.com. As for businesses that want to open early, the governor had threatened they would be punished, but not anymore.
My administration has decided to withdraw this rule in order to pursue legislation.
While business owners won't face legal trouble, police departments could be on the hook instead. WCIA3's Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell has the story.
Governor Pritzker continues to search for a tool to enforce his executive orders. Early Wednesday afternoon at a highly anticipated meeting, the Pritzker administration pulled back on one threat to punish business owners who defy his orders and later issued a new threat to law enforcement. A Wednesday memo from the Illinois Emergency Management Agency threatens to withhold federal funds from police departments who don't enforce Governor Pritzker's executive order. Republicans pushed back against a different emergency rule filed last week that would hit defiant business owners with a Class A misdemeanor.
If you're deciding between reopening and trying to pay bills and feed your kids, that potentially you could be jailed.
Instead, Pritzker reversed course, avoiding a potential rebuke from the bipartisan Joint Committee on Administrative Rules.
JCAR is, I think fair to say, a somewhat obscure
legislative body.
Senator Bill Cunningham chairs the powerful committee. He said if the state must enforce the governor's executive orders, then instead of a heavy hand,
we would like to do it with a soft touch.
State Police Director Brendan Kelly huddled outside the J. Carr meeting, waiting for the ruling with his staff. At the governor's press conference, Kelly said state police have been careful to tread lightly, knowing these are trying times for businesses.
The Illinois State Police have not taken anybody to jail for violations of the executive order.
A business that chooses not to follow the rules can recover from a fine. It is much more expensive to deal with being stripped of a license or forced to close.
State lawmakers could soon allow police to fine business owners who open too soon. But the politicians run the risk of alienating the people who own and work for those companies, many of whom say the coronavirus closures have already cost them too much. Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell.
The governor said he doesn't want to pull state licenses from businesses who defy his orders, but he is still willing to go that route if they don't comply. While lawmakers are back in Springfield, it's now a requirement that they wear masks during session. Anyone not wearing one could be removed from the House floor. Representative Darren Bailey refused, so he was escorted off the floor. He says he's not sorry.
I have a choice to make if I want to put my mask on and go back in, but right now certainly isn't that time. I'll be monitoring and watching what's taking place in there. You know, we have been in a super minority situation until this time. Hopefully Republican leadership will wake up and force Democrat votes instead of siding with them.
Bailey says he isn't sure whether or not he will put on a mask to re-enter before the week is over. He'll be in a Clay County courtroom on Friday for the latest hearing on his lawsuit against the stay-at-home order. Speaking of masks, students at the U of I are working to help others during this pandemic, and 2 of them are now creating masks for people with spinal cord injuries. WCIA3's Jen Lask has more.
They've got the grant. Now, 2 students are getting ready to fire up their 3D printers to make these masks. Joey Peters and Ariel Rosson just got the green light from the Nielsen Foundation, which helps people with spinal cord injuries live independently.
This university is known for that, and we have a lot of resources that we felt could, work well with that grant.
Peters, a PhD student who works to help athletes with disabilities, teamed up with Rosson, a business student and wheelchair athlete who has her own 3D printing company.
It's called Ingenium Manufacturing, and we make 3D printed wheelchair racing gloves. And so when we heard about the opportunity to start printing face masks, we thought it was a really great way we could pivot our operations in this trying time.
The design they're using is approved by the National Institutes of Health. Rosson says these masks should give more protection than cloth ones.
We have about 6 3D printers, and so we can print the mask, and then we're going to add a filter to it and some elastic straps and everything, so that way you can easily secure it on your face, and a little bit of a foam seal so it's comfortable, but it will still really block the particles that you're breathing from getting out into the air.
You know, these masks will be reusable, so a lot easier to clean than having to throw them in your washer, so you can just kind of spray them with some Windex or some alcohol.
And they're hoping they'll be able to distribute roughly 750 masks throughout Illinois. Reporting, I'm Jen Lask, WCIA3, your local news leader.
They're planning to start printing tomorrow and will work with different groups to distribute the masks once they're done. Taking a look at the latest coronavirus numbers in the state, there are more than 2,300 new cases. That puts Illinois over the 100,000 case mark. 147 more people have died, bringing the state's death toll to more than 4,500. In other news tonight, a Springfield man is facing charges for a crime spree police say went from August 2019 through January. Ronald Porter is charged with murder, home invasion, armed robbery, sexual assault, arson, and more. He was arrested in February for robbery. Police recently connected him to the murder of a woman in January, where he's accused of stalking, sexually assaulting, and then stabbing her to death. Police say he then lit her home on fire to destroy evidence. We have more on those charges and what he's accused of doing to one other woman on our website. A woman is facing DUI charges after a deadly car crash. This happened Saturday on West Church Street by Carson Avenue in Champaign. The car turned over onto its side, trapping the driver's boyfriend. Police say Marcus Williams and Valinda Bender were both rushed to the hospital. Williams later died there. Bender's blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit. She was released with a notice to appear in court. There is now a warrant out for her arrest. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. One high school sports conference is going to look a little different next season. Who's joining starting this fall? Plus, we've talked quite a bit about COVID-19, but one city is taking precautions against a different virus. And friends weren't able to visit one girl who's about to have brain surgery, but that didn't stop them from showing their support today.